Shopify reported Q3 earnings this week, so I wanted to take a look at their earnings report and also look at the technical analysis of the chart. Now, I do invest in Shopify, and I also use Shopify personally with my supplement brand PR Breaker. I've been using Shopify since 2017, and I really like the platform. I personally see the advancements and new features they're adding to me as a customer, so I like the company, which is what led to me investing in them. All right, let's jump into this report really quickly and see what we find. Shopify achieved 32% revenue growth and 18% free cash flow margin, marking 9 consecutive quarters of double-digit free cash flow. So revenue is going up, free cash flow margin is in double digits and going up. The GMV, or the gross merchandise value, the amount of products they're selling, went up 32%. So they are growing across the board. I don't want to dive too deeply into all of these numbers, but we do see that the subscription services are up, the merchant solutions, so like the in-person selling went up. The one thing I saw people talking about is the net income is down this quarter compared to last year. But when you exclude the impact of investments, they are actually up this year. So they are investing, they are trying to grow, they are expanding. And they are expanding with this AI boom. They implement AI in a lot of what they do. They also partnered with ChatGTP to allow agentic shopping soon. I know they're expanding with the big brands they're working with. Elf Beauty recently signed on with them, and so did Estee Lauder. So they are growing, they're expanding, they're making moves. The stock price did go down quite a bit, though. Obviously, the whole market is down today and this week, which is impacting things, but Shopify is down quite a bit. All right, looking at the overall financials of the company, we see that they have 6.34 billion cash on hand with zero debt. I don't know why, but I'm always a fan of companies that have a ton of cash and zero debt. I feel like that just looks very strong. Not to say that all debt is bad, but when you see a company with so much cash and no debt, that really does strengthen that company, in my opinion. The PE is 115, so that is high, so that could be cause for concern for valuation. But looking at the revenue, look at this revenue. It's just going straight up. It continues to grow at over 30% per year. Looks great. Looking at the free cash flow continues to go up, looking very strong. I mean, this company is looking very solid fundamentally. They're growing. They have a ton of cash. They have no debt. They're making advancements in AI. They're adding new brands, big brands that are working with them. I'm pretty impressed with this company. Let's look at the chart though, because that could tell a story. All right, here we have the Shopify daily chart. I have the Fibonacci retracement from this previous high to this low. And we do see that Shopify did indeed make a new all-time high, just barely above the previous all-time high. The previous all-time high was $176.29, and they got up to $182. We do see that they are going down this week though, but this was the previous breakout point, and here's the 50-day moving average. It did find support on the 50-day moving average in this support line yesterday, but today it's still right at that 50-day moving average. So as of now, the bullish trend has not been broken. We're going to have to watch and see if price continues to go down past this 50-day moving average. There is a bit of a gap, and this previous resistance that the price just broke right through. So it is quite possible that Shopify could come down and retest this, which lines up with the 200 moving average. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart, same thing. The 50 moving average on the weekly chart is coming up to here, so maybe we will see some short-term price breakdown. Really gonna have to wait and see. A lot of the market isn't really giving us a specific answer, but one thing to consider is all the moving averages are still moving up. And as of now, Shopify did find support on the 50-day moving average. Until that breaks down, it still looks bullish. So we're just gonna have to watch and see what happens. I don't know if I'm gonna add to my position. I'm pretty happy with the position I have. If price does break down to this 130, I might have to add a little bit, but still looking bullish. The one thing to watch in the near future is if price goes back above this previous all-time high of 176. If it does and can break up beyond that, that's when these long-term extensions come into play. We have at the 1.272 is $304. I mean, that's double from here almost. So Shopify is in a position to continue growing and make moves in the price. Revenue is growing. They're adding new brands. They're expanding in AI. Everything is positioned for them to keep growing. So we're gonna have to watch to see what happens. But that's a quick overview of Shopify's earnings and technical analysis. I think the company looks strong. I'm not selling my investment. I might add to it if we get a good entry. Other than that, that is it. Let me know what you think about Shopify. Do you invest in it? Again, I personally use it for my supplement company. So I'm personally invested in two different ways. All right, guys, that's it. Let's keep those portfolios growing.